Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita, and I'm the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. This session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. But before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. I would now like to welcome Swami, our speaker for today's session. He is an aspirant software architect and currently works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swami to begin the session. Let me bring him into the stream. There you go. How are you, Swami?
Happy New Year and happy Pongal. And
Happy
I'm
New
doing
Year.
great. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
And happy New Year to the audience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Swami. And the stage is all yours. Let me get your presentation up.
Yep, sure. Thanks. Guys, thanks so much. Couple of URLs have given to Rashmita. She'll be sharing. And thanks for joining. And I'll take a real quick minute on this syllabus, what we are discussing. We see that quite a few things we discussed last year, and rest of the year we'll be discussing the same series. The plan is if this is done, I'll start AI 104 and 304, 305. Couple of things are there. So chapter one, I'm calling it as chapter for lack of better word. One, two, and six we have completed. We are doing develop NLP solutions. That's what we are doing. And inside this NLP solutions, we have completed text analysis last time. And the source code for that is available. This is the 2025 has already started. So good. And the solution for that is already available here in a new Git repo. I just created because I want to do everything in the latest .NET 8 or .NET 9. At this point of time, I have things in .NET 8. So slowly I'm working in migrating. Till now, I did quite a few migrated, quite a few things. OpenAI things here. If you see that there are a couple of things here in OpenAI and NLP. We started with text analysis we completed, and today we are going to do the Q&A. So that's it. Just an introduction, and let's start today's session. So we'll be doing Q&A and then conversational AI. Step by step, we'll go. We'll take time. We'll learn as much as possible. So that's the plan of attack. So let's go and click on this. And what I'll do is I'll close all these things. So we'll start and we'll come back and we might redo it. That's good. So today's thing is create Q&A solutions with Azure AI Language. So here, when we are speaking about the Q&A, is that we'll be learning everything. Just first we'll understand what this Q&A solution and compare that with language understanding. We'll create the required resources, we'll upload the documents, and we'll test and publish, then consume that, implement the multi-turn conversation and create a bot to interact. I mean, bot and these two, I will be parking it for now, but rest will be doing it for sure, definitely. If you see this one, we will implement this, but the bot, I think I didn't deploy the bot, this one, but we'll give it a shot. Last 5 minutes, we'll try it, okay? So introduction is nothing. Again, the repetition of the same thing. So first, let's start from here. Question answer capability. Okay. So this language service, AI language, the question answer capability, creating these things are very, very easy. And you have to define a knowledge base. The good thing is we can have a website. If some website is hosting uh, FAQs, we can incorporate that. Let's assume there is a airlines and they have a couple of sites where they have few links for the Q&A. And if you have to create a simple Blazor app or Angular or React or Vue.js, whatever the kind of app we want to create, we can create an app. We can create a language service, give a link to those FAQs, fine tune those FAQs, and then deploy that as a consumable API, and you can consume the API. You see this one of the thing which I deployed last night. We'll be deploying again today, but this is one of the things which I deployed last night. So we can quickly deploy that, and we can consume this in our client application. Maybe that's Blazor server or Angular or React or Vue, whatever the kind of application we are developing, we'll be able to consume it. So the input for the knowledge base can come from websites, and we can create a structured file or brochure or user guides, and we can built-in chit chat. Oh, one thing we can experiment is, I think one of the AI session we did it, we had quite a few brochures. We'll give that a shot. It's a good thing. Even I never tried it, but if I'm failing, let's fail together in live. Okay. So you can see this Q&A service is the newer version. So that's we are calling it as language service. We'll see that how to create and everything. Now, this will be compared with the next session. If you see that next session is the creating the CLU application, conversational language understanding. I mean, this table is pretty much very important to decide what kind of solution we need to create, whether we need to create a question answering or conversational language understanding kind of application. So the patterns, usage pattern, if you see user submits a question expecting an answer. I mean, user submits an utterance expecting an appropriate response or a action. Now the query processing, it's like a natural language understanding to match the question to get the answer from a knowledge base. So here, service natural understanding to interpret the intent or identify the identity. So response is pretty much static. Response indicates that most likely intent or referenced entity. So the client application typically represents the answer. Here the responsible for performing appropriate action and detect the intent is very important. We'll see that in the next session. For us, it is very important. We are seeing this side of the world, question answering solution. And inside this, create a knowledge base. So how do we create a knowledge base? So before that, I think let's go to this one, analytics. Let me go to this file explorer, and inside this, I think in OpenAI, we had quite a few. It's not image generation. Was it image generation? No, it's not. It's not an image generation. I think it is in RAG pattern. Use your own data. Yes, I remember. These files are here. Anyways, I didn't try. We will try alive. So see this. Now we need to create a knowledge base. So some of the things have changed. So I'll keep this documentation, whatever I prepared, so that it will be easy for us to understand what is that we are going to do. So the first thing is we need to create this language resource, so which we have already created. So no point in redoing that. But anyways, I would like to quickly show you what it is. Let me go to the resource group. This is a resource group. I have quite a few accounts. So multi-service accounts, OpenAI, and language. This is the one. And we have a couple of search services also we have created. So all we need to do is we need to click on that, and we come back to this documentation over here, and we'll select this Azure AI language. So language service. It's a language service. You can see this. This is the language service, and we need to click on this. Where this is one important thing. Some of the documentation might be a little older. So if you want the question answering, we need to select this. And if you want text classification, named identity recognition, sentimental analysis, and analytics for health of all those things, we need to click on this one. Then we'll, that's the UI change, I assume. And if you see from the pricing tier perspective, it is not giving us F0, which we have already consumed it. So it will not give. Suppose if you are creating these individual services, we will get a benefit of using the free tier. That itself is more. See this, the free tier for this resource type is already being used by your subscription. They'll give one free tier. I already created it, so it will not give us. So the key thing, what I wanted to show you was the selection of features. That's the only thing I just wanted to cover. So we already created the resource, language resource. So that step is already done. Create a knowledge base. I mean, out of this, create a knowledge base, if you see, it's only one part. The first part is we have created a AI resource. See this, the free we have already consumed. Next, if you want to try, it will be standard. And Azure search also we already created in the previous episode. So we don't need to look at that. This is exercise 2 Q&A. So we have the Azure search pricing tier and responsible AI. Everything is already been selected. Okay, so language service, this everything is there. So the next thing is create a question answering project. So this is little different, which is not was not available previously, or the look and feel is different. Not sure on that one, but the look and feel is little different. So you see here we have created, and I've given the link in this documentation. Once we go here, we need to select this documentation. I'll copy that, come back to this, and I will open a new tab, and and I will, so let me select that and go to this one. I mean, there's other way to navigate also. It's not the only way. Even if you go to the respective resource, language service, and when you come here, the language studio, click on this one, it will directly take you to the same studio what I'm pointing out here. So you can come back over here and just click on get started with the language studio. It will navigate you to the same language studio, language.cognitive services. It's the same, one and the same. Sometimes it will pick up the resource group, sometimes it doesn't. So this is what it is. The first step is creating the language resource. That is still here. Okay, it's still here. So when you click on language studio or mark this and go to language.cognitive services, this is the second step. Now you're inside the language studio. So inside the language studio, we uh, we can do this extract information, like lot of things are available. Let's highly at high level, let's see this, like extract information. We didn't do anything on this one, I think. So text classification, detect language, this is the only thing we worked. And understand questions and conversational, CLU and Q&A both are here. So answer questions, custom question answering. So this is the next generation of Q&A maker. This is what it is. And this is CLU is this one. This is Louis and this is CLU. So we'll be working on custom Q&A and CLU. CLU is the next episode, but today we are working on the custom Q&A. And summarize text is here and translate text is here. I worked with the translate. It's pretty cool. So let's stick to the game plan. We will be here today. Okay. And then the next thing is, let's see both my documentation, whatever I prepared, is this two things I wanted to showcase that. And now we need to create a project. So where do you create a project? So here we see this one, create a new project. And from here, this is CLU, and this is orchestration flow, custom question answering, custom text classification, custom named entity. We'll be working on the Q&A. Okay, so we'll be selecting this option, English, and just click on, see that it already picked up that, and the name of the project. So let's follow the documentation what is given in the Microsoft, and we'll add V1. Okay, so we created that, and learn FAQ. I will add V1 just for us to identify V1, and the description will take this FAQ for Microsoft Learn, and this is English. And what should be the default answer? You say that I didn't understand, or whatever we want to give. For the time being, let's stick to the game plan, whatever Microsoft documentation gives us. We'll be following that one. And we'll click on next, and we can quickly review what is this, and just click on OK. So now the project creation has been done. So this is done. So now we'll be switching between multiple documents. I'm sorry for that, but the knowledge has been at different places in different types. Like if you see this create a knowledge base, it is creating the language resources, and then creation of the project is in a single line, and then uploading the data. But whereas here in this exercise, it is little bit verbose, we'll be able to understand. So that's the reason I'm just switching between both of these. So now is add the knowledge base. Okay. So let's see what happened to our resources. So if you see, we can come back to the studio, and you can see this is I created last night, and this is the one we created 1 minute ago. So let's select this one. Even if you go somewhere and want to come back, this is pretty easy. We can click on this and it will come here. So now some of the things I'm experimenting, it might fail, but let's do that. This is already here. It will be working. So let's try our own first. Let's try to fail fast. So let's come in here because I tried URLs and chit chat. I didn't try. So let's do it here. So say add files, and source name is MS Learn Docs. I'm just giving that name, and let me choose this. And there are a couple of brochures. Wow, I think it's accepting only one. So let's take this one. Oh, maybe the file by file. It could be that. So let's add that, and add another file. Let's try to add another file, file 2. Let me add New York browser and click on add all. So it's adding that. So let it add. In the meanwhile, let's go and uh, do this from here. So another thing is we can click on that add sources and this time add a URL. So now it has already added the two documents. Now here add source and we are adding URLs and add an URL and that we call it as learn FAQ page and here is the URL. Okay, and let's click on add all. So it's adding the FAQ also. Now this time we'll select chit chat and add friendly chit chat. So okay, it's adding the URL. Okay, let's see what is there in this URL. I'll copy that and come back and click on this. Here we see the frequently asked questions. There are quite a few questions are here. And from our browsers, we know that we have added a couple. One is the San Francisco and the New York. We have added these two browsers. Let's see where are we now. It has added this URL. So we added two types. Now we'll add the third type, chit chat. And inside that, we want to take the friendly chit chat. And let's add this and let's add the professional also. Let's do I mean, if you want to fail, let's fail it royally. Whatever validation knowledge base cannot have more than three. So let's nuke this. I'll delete this. Okay. Oh, this limitation, I didn't knew that. There's a limitation to this. Okay. Now let's come back and try to add the friendly chit chat or professional chit chat. But at least whatever the three types it's accepting, we are adding those three types. Okay, that's cool. So we saw that we have file, we have chit chat, it's already there, and we already have another one is from the FAQ. We saw that what FAQ has got. We have these all these things, accessibility, whatever this report. We'll see once we are trying to test it. So that's the second step is to create a knowledge base. Now we can add the knowledge base also. And one of the thing when we are speaking about this Q&A, there could be something which is getting answered in a single question. Like I ask very specific thing, like what is the age limit to take some test? It says whether 18 or 21, whatever it is. If it is, then it will give us an answer. Sometimes it could. This is like a singleton. I ask a question, it is giving me an answer. Singleton. Some of the times, what we might need to do is more conversation, like a multi-turn. And here in this example, when we come back to this documentation itself, here we saw this, and there's a very good example. If you see here the user is asking, how can I cancel a reservation? So the bot can speak something like you click on this and you cancel, but it needs some more information. So it's asking, what is that you want to cancel? Your hotel reservation or your flight reservations? If it is flight, you need to do this. If it is hotel, you need to do something. So this is like a multi-turn. Here, the bot has to ask extra questions, extra clarification, or extra points to understand what is that exactly user wants to do. This is like a multi-turn. That's one important point. Now let's come back over here. So we have this one. So here you see this here Azure search. You click on that Azure search. We have already enabled the Azure search here. And let me go back to this one. And here, custom question answering. Here is that we have our projects, and this is home. Just we saw this one. So I'm coming in here now. I'll close these two because unnecessarily tabs. So here you can see this. This is home. Here you can see that, and here Azure search, and here is the resources, manage resources, and edit the knowledge base is the next step which we'll be doing. So let's see this one. We have seen it, and add sources. You see this yesterday. Whatever I tried was only these two. On top of that, today we added a PDF also. I don't know how it reacts, but let's see that. Here is the next step: edit knowledge base. So let's come back to the documentation here, and in Learn FAQ project, edit knowledge base. So that's what we did it. Edit knowledge base is here, and page will see this. And once we come back over here, so there are, I mean, regular chit chat is also there. You can see that, and also each of them has got an alternate questions. I'm so bored of you. You're dull, or you're boring, whatever it is. Alternate queries for the same query, and what is the possible answer for that. So we can select it and give an answer to that. And metadata tags are used to let the client application narrow down the results of this one. Okay, where is parking allocated? So let's see that this is the edit questions. So after that, what we will be doing is in the knowledge base on the question answer page tab. So question answer. So this is synonyms, and this is question answer page tabs. So two different tabs. This is active tab. And you see that inside the tab, what we will be doing is we will be select plus and create a new question answer page with the following settings. So I'll be clicking on this one, and the source is already there because we have uploaded these three things. So we select that, and question what are Microsoft credentials, we'll select that, and answer is this one. Answer is this, and we click on done. So what are Microsoft credentials? And then let's do a save. Select it. So let's wait. Here we got our this one. And inside this page, let's add the alternate question. How can I demonstrate my skills? Technically, it is pointing to the same. So I selected this. Go to the alternate question. What are the credentials? Okay, which I did it yesterday. Maybe that's the reason it is showing up. So we do definitely have an alternate question for this. Oh, okay. Yeah, an alternate question. Add an alternate question. This one. This is an alternate question. I just clicked on this. So now, how can I demonstrate? That's an alternate question for that one. So in some cases, it makes sense to enable user to follow up on an answer by creating a multi-turn conversation. So multi-turn conversation can be from either side, right? So if bot is unclear or bot needs additional information to give or look into the knowledge base to give a proper answer. So in the previous case, we said that when user asks for cancellation, what is that he's targeting? Is he asking for hotel reservation cancellation, or is he asking for flight reservation cancellation? We don't know. I mean, that is the reason now bot is coming back with another query. So in the same way, when user asks something, bot gave an answer, and user is unclear or he needs more information, he'll ask additional questions. So now here the follow-up questions. So what we do is here we are saying the come back over here. See, you can see this follow-up prompts. Add a follow-up prompt. So enter the text to display is this one, and we can create a link here, or link existing one. So we can search and do that, or let's create it. So documentation is created. Let's go ahead and create this one, and also show in contextual flow only. So that means if at all the query is not contextual flow, it will not show. Supposed to, it is not supposed to show that. If not, if we want to that to be in a contextual flow, it will show this as additional thing. So we added that, and let's save it for a minute. So you can see that learn more about credentials is also one more thing which we have added on top of that. That was uh, you can learn more about the same. What are Microsoft credentials? To that we said that how can I demonstrate, and there is learn more about credentials. That's an follow prompt. So it is over here. So let's select that follow prompt. Let me deselect this. So maybe it's giving us a link. So this is the follow prompt. Okay, what are Microsoft credentials? And for that, it shows right now. It shows this this information, like where can we go and create it, learn about this more. Okay, so we see this was the original question what we were working on the original prompt. You see this, what are Microsoft credentials? For that we gave an alternate question, and also how can I demonstrate these two. This is the original question, this is the alternate question, and it has got a follow. Learn more about credentials is here. So when you come here, and again it will point to a link here. And if you want to modify any of those things, we can add it, but we don't want to experiment at this point of time. Let's keep it, and that's how we have added this. So we have completed this step also. Now we need to train and test. So that means what happened is we have created a knowledge base. We have added the knowledge from all places, and we want to test it. And if some of the answers are we are not satisfied with those answers, so we can fine tune, or we can add an alternate questions, or we can add follow prompts and all those things. We can do that. Sorry, let me have a glass of water. See this. For that, learn more about credentials, and then it comes here. So the same thing which we configured here. We'll see that. We've added it. Now we have to test it. So let's go back to this one. And here, this is to add, and this is test, and this to delete something, save, and import, export. The second one. And this is like a filtering and legend models, but filtering whatever you want to filter, like MS Docs. Now, if you want to show questions, so only these are the things, like, and San Francisco hotels. Like, I'll select this, but again I'll go back and I'll say that okay. Now let's leave everything. Let's come back over here and let's do a prompt. We entered the prompt, so promptly it's going and giving, and this like extra, like a follow-up prompts, like we're seeing that okay, what is this? Now it goes and gets more information on that one. Like there's a multi-turn now. Now similarly, if you can see, we'll come back to that one. So that's one thing. And another thing is, again, let's go back to the filter. We'll test different things. This one we have seen, and let's see the chit chat, so that We'll ask this question. I'm so bored of you. Now click on this, and I'm so bored of you. Swing and a miss. So that's an answer. I mean, again, we can, as we were discussing, like we can go and create a alternate questions and modify the answers and follow up prompts, like we have seen in the previous case where we said that San Francisco hotels. This was from our side. So let me clear all the conversation, and I say that San Francisco hotels, when we told, it gave us an answer, and also it is giving us a follow-up prompt. Hey, you can ask about these two. So this time we'll ask about this hotel, a second hotel, and it goes and got that information. So how do we know that? So we can come back and search San Francisco hotels. So if you come here and select this San Francisco hotel, and here you can see that alternate questions. We have one. This is the original one, whatever is this one, San Francisco, and we can click on that. And another thing, if you see this, there are two follow prompts for this one. So if you ask about this one, it will give this answer, so and so, so and so, and then it gives two follow. So we can go back and check out this label, Lombard Hotel. I'm a little weak in spelling, so apologize for that. Now you see this. This one, it was showing up, and also it was showing up. For the other hotel, it was showing up the link. So let's see. What was that? San Francisco. Let me go back to this. San Francisco hotel, or this one. For this hotel, it was giving. So let's do that, and let me select this one, and we see here is that. So we can always come back and check that, okay, whether the content it is giving, is it right, or are we satisfied with this query, or can we hook it up this with the alternate questions, or do we need any follow prompts on top of that to convert the conversation into multi-turn conversation? So all these things we can do it over here. So that is to a decent extent we did a testing also. Okay, I'm calling it as a decent extent because we didn't do extensive, but at least from my perspective, what we did is we did one from the PDF file, one from the chit chat. Now we'll see the MS Learn. So MS Learn, we know that. So let's go through this documentation. So test. Now if you give hello, the suitable is again relative. Okay. So when you say hello, it says hi. I tried it a couple of times, so I know that. So this is a suitable answer. And what is Microsoft Learn? And it gives this. And tell me about Microsoft credentials. It's the same. It has got an alternate question also, and it has got follow-up prompts. So learn more about this credentials. This one over here. So it gives this. You can see that. When I select it, here we can see that there's a follow-up question, couple of alternates. So you see this, learn about this credentials, and inside that there is a link, Microsoft credentials page. There is a link to another one. See this. Okay. So that is, we have tested this to a decent extent. Now, what is that we have to do is now we have to deploy this one. Okay. So The project name is this, and FAQ, and this will be the production. So let's do that. And here the link, I mean, when we don't know if the labels are not clear, let's do a mouse over and check that. So we saw that that's the search, and this is the sources, and this is edit, and this is deploy. And I never tried it. Review suggestions, no, let's leave it. And oh, I think we need to add couple of things into this one. There is no suggested. Maybe it gives us review accepted. These suggestions come from users interacting with the bot. Okay. And this is like the settings, like whatever we have created previously, and we can do it. I didn't try this. This one, go to orchestration. I didn't try that, so let me not experiment at this point of time. Stick to the game plan. So now let's see, are we in the correct project? Okay, we are in FAQ V1. So here there are two things. Get prediction URL, you'll get it once we deploy that one. Okay, so first we'll click on deploy, and once deployed it can be integrated within a bot. I never tried that. Let's see, within next week we'll have a CLU session, so we'll see that. If you want, we'll deploy it, or we'll go with the CLI, see the content, how much it is. It will be deployed very fast. Okay, there you go. So you can see that that's deployed. And okay, create a bot. We will see. We'll come back to that one. We have other two important things to do, so we'll focus on that one. So we got the things deployed here, and you can see that deployment resources East US, and that's the name. Let's go and see that. You can see these features. We have enabled all these things, and resource is this one, and we have deployed in East US, and the pricing tier is this one. So location is East US. Let's go to this one. Just give me a minute. What is that? It is deployed. The free tier. Let's go to this one. We will East US. Let's see that. Okay, so nothing in here. We'll come back to that. Here in this resource, we'll see. I don't see anyone. Okay, we are good with that, no problem. So this has been deployed. So all we can do is just click on get prediction URL. This is the URL. Let me copy this URL and come back to this one and paste it over here. And this call will be post call. And we need to create a body. We'll come back. As of now, I'll open and close the parenthesis. Now click on this one. We'll get authorization failure because we didn't pass the token to it. We'll come back to that one, token. And you can see that this subscription key. And what I will do is I will copy this for the time being and I'll close it. Okay, I will come back to this one. Let me go to the some file just for me to do some things here. So I will use this versus this and remove everything. So that's pretty cool. So I'll select this one and come back to this postman and drop it over here and click on beautify. So it does beautification. So at the time, for the time being, what I'll do is I'll remove everything except the top three things which we need it to test it. So when I do this, again it's going to give me the same answer. No point in testing it again and again. So I can come back over here and I'll drop it over here and OCP. Oh, okay, I'm not in that. So I can test this here because FAQ here. Let me go and grab that subscription key. It's from here till here. I'll grab it and I'll put it. Okay, cool. So I'll send this information. So see this. It is question has come in here. So let's say hello. So alternate questions it is giving your dude howdy and all those things, and answer is hi, and the confidence score is pretty good. So what I can do is I can go back to this where we were testing our bot or the Q&A to be more precise. MSLN we have already tested. So let me try to filter it out. Let's see something from the MSLearn docs. Directly we'll ask this about this hotel. Let me go back over here and I'll put it in this and let me send this one more time. So precisely you see that it's giving us the information about the hotel what we spoke about, including the link. That's what we saw that when we put it over in the question, it precisely gave us this information. Let's see that is this matching. Let me clear all this and let me drop it over here, and we see this. It's giving the same. It made it bold. You can see that that's in bold, and the great value so and so. Then book your ticket to San Francisco. Visit www. Exactly, we're getting the same thing, and you can see this alternate questions it is giving us. San Francisco hotels. That's what we can ask about it, and Lombard Hotel. So if you go and click on this one, there are a couple follow-up questions are here on this one. Oh, where am I? I'm sorry for that. So you can see when we go there, the questions, there's nothing, it shows this one, but related questions or whatever it is showing here. Questions is this one. Let me close that. We got its answer, and another question is San Francisco, and another question is this one. These all are related coming from the same. This one you can see this. There should be one on San Francisco also. I think. Oh, hotel related one. I think these three. So let's try this. Just San Francisco. It's good. When we are testing, let's test it. I drop this and see that San Francisco hotel, and all these three things it is giving that and related. So somehow these things are related. So it's giving all these things. This has got follow prompt, and San Francisco has got 2 follow prompts. So let's try that. I'll drop it over here and click on next. and we see we got one, and see this contextual is false, we didn't do, but you can see this, these two are the follow-up questions. So this is one and this is two, so that those two are here, the follow-up questions over here. Okay, so that's to a decent extent we did the testing, and then we deployed the solution and we got the endpoint also, and that endpoint also we know that how to test it. And once you know how to test it, this is like a REST API, it's not the full-blown SDK, but there's a REST API. Once you know that, now the sky is the limit. Like you have all these options: C sharp, curl, dart, go, HTTP, Java, JavaScript, Node.js, whatnot. Everything is here. Okay, so let's park it and then go to the final section of this one is how do we code it in C sharp. I know I'm keeping this as a pending item, but I'll definitely bring it in the next episode. So I'll close this, and then the C sharp side. Let's come back to the C sharp side. You see this, I'm using the same .NET 8 to create different solution representing different chapters. Like you can see this one, NLP solution will be in this one. So the OpenAI, I'm moving all those things into this one. I'm going to improvise this at this point of time. There are two other sessions where I did it. I'll just move it here, and all the Python code I will move into this one, because I'm just reorganizing and bringing in from the previous location to here. It's taking little time, but I'll just get this all here. So let me close all these things and let's speak. This is common project, and you can see that it has got all the strongly typed, instead of we saying that configuration within the parentheses double quotes sending something, we have the strongly typed, and the extension methods are pretty simple. And one is iHost, where we are reading the app JSON and also the user secrets. So that is pointing to my secrets file. And also here, the line number 21 and 22 are very important, where we are creating the object of this class, and we are saying that configuration.bind it to this one. So all the values which are there in our secrets file will get mapped into this one. That's very, very important. That's one thing. And that we are adding it as a singleton. So every project, whoever is asking, they'll get a copy of that. And inside the configure services, we are adding the header footer. That's just for a beautification. It's not a big deal. It's just a beautification. Now coming back to Q&A service over here, and see in the program class, we will be having that. Okay, see this how lean it is. The program.cs, we are getting the iHost extension .get host builder. We can come back over here and we'll see that call to this one, and that's giving us the iHost. And on top of that, what we are doing is this host.services get required services, because we need header and footer, and also we need the configuration object. So here we'll get a strongly typed object. So okay, and then that object we are passing it to show Q&A demo. So when we come to this show Q&A demo, just we'll doing validation kind of thing to validate whether all these things are okay. So we have the language service endpoints, its key, the project name, and the deployment name, all these things, and then we are assigning it over here, and then here we are creating the Azure credentials, and then question answering client we are creating, passing in the endpoint, which is this one, endpoint, and the credentials. And then initially I'm saying hello, so that means we will expect hi outside, and then we'll type, and if it is not quit, come back and we'll drop that. A very, very simple. So let's go and give that a shot. We can ask few of those questions which we were asking and try those. San Francisco hotel is one. Where's that? What? Sorry? Looks like I forgot to kill this. That might be the reason. So let me start. It's coming in here. So the first prompt, what we have given is hello. Then it's coming in here. So let's give this San Francisco hotels. Ooh. Oh, actually, I was the San Francisco hotel doesn't exist. Let me change it. Just give me a minute because I'm using the previous one which I created last night. So the deployment name is that, and this one I can do. I can drop this and V1. Just give me 1 minute. So it should go to the project, but the deployment name is same. The project name what I've taken was V1. Okay, now I think it should work. So let's go because whatever I created was last night's app. San Francisco hotels. That's the reason it gave some other answer. Now I say that San Francisco. See that? Now it properly went and it brought the question. Now let's see. Let's clear the filtering. Let's clear the filtering. Let's go to the chit chat. Who is older? Let's ask this. And I'll say that I don't really have an age. So I don't really have an age. And what are Microsoft credentials? Let's ask this. So with the same 100% conference level, it gave us the answer. So I'll say quit. So it will stop over here and I'll stop with this. So that's it from our side. But there is one thing we didn't try this one. Create a bot. I mean, there's no harm in trying, I assume. Anyways, we have 1 minute time. Let's try it. If not, I'll get this up and running. In the next episode, there's a custom deployment resource group. We will drop it in the same one. That's yours, and that's the bot handle. See that it's not a decided the pricing tier. I'll keep standard. Okay, it's taking a little bit time. Okay, no problem. I'll try this and keep it ready instead of we wasting time of everyone. I'll do that and bring it. And that's it from my side. Next session we'll be doing on scale view. Okay, back to you, Rashmita.
Thank you so much, Swami, for hosting this session, and thank you all for joining us today. Please visit Microsoft Reactor website for the next upcoming session of Swami's. And also, we would appreciate your feedback on today's session as it will help us curate future session. Please feel free to use the Learn module link as well. This will give you access to additional resources to take your learning further. Thank you all once again, and enjoy the rest of your day.